The ancient masks in the Greek theatre.
Dionysus was the loved god of the ancient Greeks and the son of Zeus and mortal Semele. He was the god of vegetation, grape, wine, and entertainment.
By the 6th century AD, in ancient Athens, on the south side of the Acropolis, the Athenians worshipped their beloved god Dionysus.
In late March at Dionysia, the ancient Athenians honored the god Dionysus. In a circular orchestra near the church, they danced 50 men dressed as goats and dyed their faces with the new wine of the year. They danced and sang the Thyrambos, a song that talked about adventures and the feast of the gods, with the accompaniment of a flute.
From the worship of Dionysus, his song was born in the middle of 6th century BC. It was the first type of the theatre in Europe, tragedy and comedy.
The Theatre of Dionysus is a major theatre in Athens, considered to be the world's first theatre, built at the foot of the Athenian Acropolis. It was the first theatre ever built and the birthplace of Greek tragedy. The remains of a restored and redesigned Roman version can still be seen at the site today.
In this theatre, during 5th century BC, the great tragedians Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides presented their plays along with the comic dramatist Aristophanes.
Athenian tragedies were performed in late March, early April, at an annual religious festival in honor of Dionysus. The presentations took the form of a contest between 3 playwrights, who presented their works on 3 successive days.
Performances in ancient Athens were open to everybody. Even women, kids, or slaves had the right to watch the plays, which were organized and funded by wealthy citizens because they considered theatre as the school of people.
Through tragedies, their creators were trying to present the great anthropological issues of that time: war, peace, justice, democracy. Comedies, on the other hand, had a more political character, since they usually presented social and political issues.
Living in Athens, the heart of democracy, where all citizens actively participated in decision-making, the poets felt also the need to contribute. That's the reason why, through their plays, they were allowed to criticize social and political reality. With their poetic speech, they could express freely their ideas, denounce public figures and bad situations, or even challenge institutions and established ideas.
The tragedy poets picked their stories from myths of the Trojan War and tried through ideological conflicts of the heroes to project moral dilemmas around issues that have already discussed in Nika, in court sessions, and in the marks. Theatre, therefore, was a place of dialogue, concert, and communication, so citizens had access to information and were able to shape a political consciousness and an understanding for the democracy. That had a deep educational value in the life of ancient Athenians.
The architecture of the ancient Greek theatre consists of 3 major parts: the orchestra, where the chorus was standing, the scene, where the actors were performing, and the main theatre, called Kylon, where the spectators sat. There are 27 ancient theatres saved in Greece today, and many more in different Mediterranean countries.
Ancient Greek theatres are famous for their acoustics. The key is a circular arrangement of the step rows of seats. This structure is perfectly shaped to act as an acoustic filter, suppressing low-frequency sound, the major component of background noise, while passing on the high frequencies of the performance voices. Most famous for its acoustics is the ancient Greek theatre of Epidavros, which is the best preserved ancient theatre in Greece.
Ancient Greeks, in order to construct in a useful way the higher part of the azoma, followed the number phi, the golden ratio, between its seat and the semicircular stage. A right angle is formed, permitting its spectator to enjoy the performance in the best viewer angle.
In ancient Greek theatre, only men were allowed it to perform. Usually, there were 3 actors that were playing all the roles of a play.
Mask in ancient theatre was one of the most important components of actor costumes. With a mask, the actor had the ability to perform different roles, even the roles of women. Each mask declared different age, gender, character, and the primary emotion of the actor. A lot of masks have been recovered with impressed emotion of hate, anger, desperation, grief, or triumph.
Mouth in masks was quite big, so voice of the actor was not abstracted. The eye hole, on the contrary, was small. Most of the masks were made by wood, leather, or textile.
Mask was the tool so the actors were visible to everyone. They also provided significant acoustic enhancement since they were working as amplifiers of the actor's voice. Here we see different ancient masks from Greece.